to the Scrapbooking Studio. My name is Tracy Walker, Creative Memories Advisor in Des Moines, Iowa. And welcome to video 3 of a 4-part series of where we're putting together the project playbook for Berry Harvest, which is the newest collection that just recently came out. If you haven't watched video 1 or video 2, video 1 covers all the cutting. Video 2 is we put together project recipe. If I can get the page to turn. We did project number 1 and we did project number 3. And we will be today doing project 2 and project 4. So we're going to start out with project 2. Get to the right page. All right, so we need the red dot paper, which is, we'll just pull one of that right here. And then all right, and then we're going to need 4E and 4F are going to be flipped. So let's get this one put aside and pull that off. And then we're going to need this one. And this one up there. And then this is for these. That's going to be for the other one. All right, and then we're down to that. All right, so 3A and 3B, a 1/2 inch from the bottom. All right, let's do this side. So what I'm going to do is get this evened on my mat. And it said a 1/2 inch. All right. And then we're just, looks like we're just putting everything directly above. All right. Take it. It's a little bit. Pull this. All right. There we go. Try this one more time. All right. And we ran out of here too. All right. I got another box. I got a whole pile. Easy to change these out. Just flip them like that. And then put that back on there. And I have pieces from other projects sticking to it. All right. That. All right. So we need this one. Let's see here. This is 9. I need 9B. This is 9C, which is going on the other one. And then I need 4. Oops, no, 9A. Reading the wrong one. So 9A. And then 9G goes up here. Like that. And then the other two, or should be other two, must be. All right. Did I miss one? Well, we'll go back and find it. Not a big deal. I can cut another one if I don't find it. All right. we go. So this is 5.5 by 4, which I'm not really sure. I mean, these will fit, but they don't look exactly right. They're meant for 5.5 by 4s. I'll just put this on here as a placeholder. I don't want to have to cut other paper. So this works for me. And then we can, I'll pull them off when I go to put my pictures on there. And the other side of here is a 4 by 3. Those are not going to be the right one. And that's not going to be it. I need one that's going horizontal. Here we go. There we go. All right. And then we need the berry stickers. Let's put those down in the middle. It looks like, yep. That's really sticky. All right. Let's see if I can get this to. Oh my gosh, these are so sticky. There we go. All right, and then we need nope. 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 Summer in my jam. No. Nope. Nope. No. Oh, here we go. Summer is my jam. All right. We'll trim this. There we go. I heard my cat. My cat likes to sneak in here and hide from the other cat because he is quite rambunctious. All right. Add that one on there. All right. We'll do the stickers here in a minute. I'll put that off to the side, and then we're going to do this side. And there's a 1/2 inch from the bottom. Make sure I get this lined up here. There we go. This one. If you haven't watched the other videos, we kind of also talked about like what other things, like if you're like, oh, we don't garden, we don't, this can be used for birthday parties. I was thinking genealogy pictures, like, oh, what else? Pie baking, just baking in the summer in general. But if I talked about like they were going even state fair, like if you're entering something in a state fair contest, this would work perfectly for that as well. All right. Yep. Put that like that. And then we need just like that. All right, now this side I need this one. All right, and then let's see. I might have to cut. Must have lost it, or it got stuck to something else. Huh. Okay, so this is, what size is that? 3¼ by 3¼. So we'll just cut it again. Not a big deal. I got extra. All right, 3¼ and 3¼ I'm sure I'll find it tomorrow when I go to clean. Kind of like, you know, when you lose something and then you're like, I can't find it. And you finally decide, oh, I'm just going to order a new one. Then you find the old one. Happens every single time for us. Okay. And then looks like I need a card. It would have been nice to like use that one, but it's not. It's 2 minutes. So it's looks like it's this one trimmed in half. All right, and then so it's got the half on the back. So I'll just trim that. Just like that. All right, so I'm gonna need. Looks like need this. I'm looking at the embellishments first before I go to the stickers. This is looking for this one. They do have peach ones. That's nice to know. I don't think I had any pictures of me and my grandma canning peaches, but you never know. All right, I need that, and I need a couple strawberries. There we go. So we'll foam square this guy. Ugh, getting these off sometimes. There we go. But yeah, if in the other video I also talked about how fast summer is going. We already had our vacation and is home, and now we've got lots of other things going on. Got business trips coming up and other things like that. So, I'm trying to get my youngest off to maybe I'm not gonna, I think after her apartment, and then we've got some stuff planned for the fall, but I feel like everything is just, it just goes faster and faster and faster. And all right, I'm gonna hold on to this for a minute. Oh shoot, I put it at the top and not the bottom. Can I get it pulled off without wrecking it? If not, I might just leave it where it's at. I'm just gonna leave it where it's at. I think it looks fine. There we go. Okay, so I need a 4x4, and that way it doesn't go on top of my stuff. Okay, I need one of these, and a 4x4. There we go. Kind of nice to be able to recycle these. They still look okay. It's putting a stripe down the middle, and I did it on the wrong side. Ooh, Mama's getting tired. I said I pulled weeds for a long time. It felt like a long time yesterday, but it wasn't that long. And then realized that our neighbors had basically moved out while we were on vacation. They're considerably older, and so that is a lot of house. It's a beautiful house, but it's a lot of house to maintain for someone who's older with the landscaping and the mowing and all that stuff, unless you've hired it out. And so I think it just got to be a lot for them. And so they were selling everything they had left. And so we went over there to see if there was anything that my daughter could use for her apartment. And the one thing that we needed was bar stools, and those were not for sale. So kind of sad. So we're still in search for bar stools. I think we'll go to Home Goods in her college town to look for those things. So if you have any ideas, suggestions for that. So that one is done. We did move this up here just because I felt like it looks good there, and we can add something else. All right. Now let's get this page back and finish up the embellishments. We got this. And that's going to go back in here just like that. And then I'm going to do some foam squares. I have to cut some more. So I'm sad to see them go. They're really nice people. But our neighborhood we live right by one of the most sought after elementary schools in our area, in our town. And so houses sell pretty quick around here just because you can walk your kids to the elementary school. Your kids can walk to the high school as well. We live right in between the high school and this elementary school. The middle schools, you'd have to ride the bus for those, but it was when my kids were tiny and went to the elementary school, it was perfect. They could ride their bikes, they could walk if they wanted to. They could even ride the bus because the bus did at that time come pick them up. And I know there's more restrictions on the buses now. They don't necessarily you have to live so far away now, and I don't know if we live that far or if they, and you don't have to cross a busy street. So a lot of kids were I see a lot of kids walking and riding bikes, which I love to see in neighborhoods. It's just people, their kids walking and riding and playing and all that kind of stuff. Right? I think I got for that. So, and if you want to, you can come back when you have your pictures in. These pictures are meant for 5.5 by 4. I don't have any that size, and I didn't want to cut anymore, so I'm just putting them as a placeholder for now. So here is number. Why? Okay, this did not. Wow, how did I not see that? Did it shift and I just didn't notice? All right, let's put these back down again. There we go. Now, that was so crooked. Oh, see, I knew I should have just taken a nap, but I took a nap yesterday after I got done with doing all that weeding and stuff. But today we are slowly but surely cleaning out our house, because eventually, we're empty nesters and this house is it's just too big for 2 people. It's great like when all the kids come home and stuff, like for Christmas and things like that, but I'm sure we can find a house that can accommodate those kinds of things. But just for us to maintain the yard and the just the cleaning in the yard and the bathrooms, and I mean obviously not everything gets used, but here we go. And let's put some more repo down. It's just it gets to be a lot. So, and we want to travel. That's like kind of what we're planning on doing, is traveling. So, all right, there we go. Layout number 2. That push down. All right. Now let's do the last one. And the last one is going to be the squares. Okay. So the photos are 4x4s. So we'll just get that out of the way and pull out the 4x4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. One. Because I know this fall we have plans. One plans to go on a cruise, so we don't want to. So having a smaller house and less stuff is just what we need. What's funny is we moved into this house and we didn't have hardly any stuff because the house we came from was very small compared to this one. It was the first house we ever bought. When we bought it, we didn't have any children, any pet. We had 1 pet. And then when we moved out, we had 3 kids and 4 pets. So that house was perfect at the time when we bought it for young people who had no children. And then after a while, it was like, okay, we need something that is not so like on top of each other, and it was a split level, so it didn't have a great amount of storage if you've ever lived in a split level. And so it was just, we decided that it was time to make an upgrade, and upgrade we did, and we've loved where we live. Our neighbors are awesome. We've met some really fun people from the school and our kids and stuff. But like I said, everybody's kids of our neighborhood friend group. I think there's one of us left that has a kid in school, and he's going to be a senior in a couple weeks. So he's pretty much done too. So we're all thinking about moving on to other places. Some of us will stay here. Others of us we would like to move to some place that's not so cold in the winters is our goal. All right. So let's see. So if you live someplace that has very mild winters, put it in the comments and let me know why. Because we're looking at several places, and something that's mild in the winters, yeah, it's okay. That if I don't want Florida or Arizona, but because we can always go to Colorado in the summer and spend part of our time out there. Is definitely what we can do. All right, I'm getting these. It's not too bad. Didn't look like I cut. The 3/16 thing was making me nervous, but it looks like I did okay. All right, and then this one and this one. Oops. I flipped it over and I shouldn't have. Okay. All right, so it's already, I didn't even put anything down and it's already, I'm just going to do this. I need to find my, oh, you know what happened is I was putting the tape on the, that's why it's sticking, is I was when I was putting tape on, then it was getting on this while I was make sure I get them as evenly as possible. So Florida, doesn't appeal to us at all. Now Texas, yes. Some people like the Ozarks or Gulf Shores, that kind of stuff. Reason we like Texas is I have family that lives there, and my brother's a musician in Austin, and so it's fun because he has all sorts of traveling all over to go to different concerts and stuff, and so we would like to be able to do that and socialize a little bit more in the winter months. Winter here in Iowa, and the socializing is so hard just because it's so cold and nobody ever wants to. We all don't want to go outside. So, anyways, that's what we're thinking of. But we've got to, we've lived in this house. We have lived in this house for 15 years, 16 years now. And when we moved in, no one had really lived in it until we moved in, because the people who built it sold it, or tried to sell it, and then it sat empty for 3 years because that was the housing market crash. And then someone bought it, lived in it for just a few months before they got transferred again. And so they left and we bought it. So we were the first people who have lived in it because this house sat empty for quite some time. All right. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. That was making me nervous. All right. So I need a peach basket. And then sometimes I gotta pull this. All right. So then I need this guy. And then summer VIP. Is that up? Or summer vibes. That's what that is. Couldn't read it. All right. So that goes just like that. And then we'll foam square. And noted that my husband and I, our day jobs are, I have my own business and he works from home and travels for work. So that's another reason why to live near family, because he travels. I would say and that stuck to me from before. His work is probably 80-90% travel, and so it would just be nice to have family, be able to live by family and hang out with them and do things with them and get outdoors more is really what it is too. All right, keep peeling all the foam squares back. I do like to use a lot of foam squares. All right. She kind of covers up the summer vibes, the person who did that, but I'm going to be able to do that. And then this can just go underneath there. And our kids, one of them already lives more south of here. And I will see her ending up wherever we are. And the other one, I don't think he's a paramedic. He could, if he wants to live, stay in Iowa, then that's good. All right. Was there anything else for this one? No, that's it. That's it for layout number 4. Looks super cute. This would be very easy to do a second layout, because you do have this left over. And then I'm trying to see what other what were the other sheets that were left. Well, you could. So I don't have another sheet of this, but you could do like a solid sheet of beige instead. Because I know I still have, pretty sure I have a sheet of beige. I could get a sheet of beige out. This is the other side. But you could do that and do the same thing, just using a solid sheet instead for that. And to, as well as this one, trying to see, it was the blueberry. So you do have some more of the stripe. And then what was the other side of this one? The other side was the beige. So you could try and make it work to make a second one, or you could just make some individual ones by themselves. So, all right. So this was number, where's my sheet? This is number 4. And you have plenty of embellishments, a lot of embellishments left over, I might say. So we could try and make some borders. This is layout project number 3. And then this is number 2. And then this is the very first one we did, number 1. Make sure I have them out there. I got powder on it. And then this is number 1 for that. So with that project playbook, you got 2, 4, 6 pages. You could definitely make up to probably, I would say 8. You would just have to make 2 more for that, and then pretty much have everything used up. Or you could make a bunch of borders. And the border should be coming out on the Creative Memories blog at some point. But I'm going to work on trying to make some borders using the border punch, as well as the mason jar canning punch as well for that. Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this video number 3. The next collection, I'm trying to think when our next release is. I think this Friday they'll be showing us what the next release is. The secret box did come out, and I'm not opening it because I don't want to spoil it for you. But at the time of this filming, the secret box was selling, but it's still available. Here it is. So I haven't opened mine yet, but I am gonna open it. I've seen pictures, so I know what's in here. But this one is the August virtual crop. It will be opened by Noreen for that. But at the time of the filming, there were a few left, but they were selling really, really fast. What's really nice is they're going to do 4 secret boxes. And if you buy all 4, then you have a chance to buy a 5th special one as well. And that's only if you buy all 4. And there, I just found that missing piece and throw it over there for that. So don't miss on that. In the description, I will put how to order the secret box, as well as how to connect with me, order from me, find out when my events are, as well as getting on my email list. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.